Alright, so this is a little bit of a different view. This is not my normal video, and this is also something that is serious, and we need to talk about it, because if we don't, it's going to change the landscape of gaming forever. And just know that regardless of what your opinion is, if you get upset with me, I don't care. This is my view, and honestly, sometimes views stink. So, you've been warned. Okay, so we got to talk about stop killing games and the issue with people trying to stop the advancement of it. Mainly of which is Ubisoft. Ubisoft pretends to be your friend and then shows up later whenever the big payouts show, like a creepy uncle. Look at Assassin's Creed, The Crew, X-Defiant, and many others. It's not hard to see what kind of bullshit they're trying to get away with. From industry con artists telling you that you don't own the games, to people slandering and defamating a man's YouTube channel and how much money he makes. There's nothing that is off limits for these people. Now, please keep in mind that these people that are attacking said man's YouTube channel can't even get his country of origin correct, or how much money he makes. He often says that he doesn't make enough money to keep the lights on, which is a fair assessment, especially given today's society. And given the fact that some people take upwards of 2 to 3 jobs to be working on something just so that way they can make ends meet. As I said in the beginning, if you don't like these opinions, I don't care. Because I don't make money off these videos, and I do it because I feel like I need to, as opposed to actually doing it because I'm making money. Now, I say that because I know one person, at least, that doesn't like what I have to say. And he's not going to like what I have to say. That's Pirate Software. So if you're actually one of the few people that watches this channel, you can take those opinions and put them in the trash bin. Because honestly, you working for Blizzard or your dad working for Blizzard or whoever, doesn't matter. Your opinions don't matter on an industry that is founded on the backs of people that are basically the consumers. Now I want to talk about the founding problem and what we need to do to break the habit. To understand my frustration, we have to go back to the root cause of it all, Bethesda's horse armor. Now, I know some eagle-eyed viewers will say and point out that Total Annihilation was the first actual DLC, but I'm not talking about that. Before that, expansions for PCs were the norm, and oftentimes made by different studios for a small turn of profit. And why is this? Because as the old adage states, people often made games that they themselves want to play. And that's the key word here. Games that they want to play. If I want to play this, why not others? And so, with the advent of major corporations taking over game companies, and values and morality essentially go out the window. I'm about business, and make no mistake, I am about business. But I'm also about doing business correctly and being honest in your business. So in saying these things, I think we most certainly need to speak about the elefante in the room. And yes, I said that intentionally. So in saying these things, we have to talk about less is more in the new world. Now, while what I could say could be construed as being hateful, derogatory, and outright malicious, it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. And here's a few key components to keep in mind. At current figures, World of Warcraft's total revenue is upwards of $14 billion by 2022. The highest peak of players was 12 million in 2010, and this equates to a crude calculation of $180 million a month alone. In current figures, while unknown, is estimated at 7.25 million of players. With a 7.25 million times $15 USD, that's 108.75 million in just subscriptions alone. And while these figures aren't exact, with in-game purchases of skins, transfers, and expansion packs, as well as mounts and other things, the sheer amount of staggering money that gets transferred excludes BlizzCon tickets. And this should piss you off. Now, you're saying to yourself, why should this piss me off? Well, because it's $15 a month to do what, exactly? To run around and think that you, the sole player, are the most central focal point of this game? That you are the main character? It's all a lie, and it always has been. Now, for those of you that may say that I'm jaded, I'm not. I'm just really sick of people throwing their money away for a service that really doesn't do them any good, especially by a company that does not care about their customers. They don't. The true people that cared at Blizzard left after Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3 because they could see the writing on the wall. Now let's transition over to Ubisoft because I really want to talk about them. What was the price of Ubisoft in 2022 going to 2023? The average price of the Ubisoft stock meandered between $1.87 and $3.89. And as of taping on August 1st, the price of it is $1.98 USD, which is down 4.59% today. And why is this relevant? It's relevant because it pertains to the rights of video games for customers. According to Google and Ubisoft's own directory, gamers that buy games from Ubisoft do not own the rights to the games that they buy, but rather they acquire limited rights as buying a license to operate such said software. And they, being Ubisoft in this equation, reserve the rights to take down such said game at any point with little to no provocation. And they also reserve the right to take it down from any marketplace that they see fit, as such was with The Crew. Now, if this doesn't piss you off, it should, because your rights as a consumer are violated because they can put it in a EULA stating that they reserve the right to do whatever they want with it, right? But if you have a physical copy of it, they want you to destroy it, and that's a violation of your rights. Now, if I sold you a baking bowl of 5 apples for $3, those apples are now yours, correct? I would assume so. The simple and most everyone's answer is yes. But to Ubisoft, this answer is no. Now, if I were to make cider, hard or normal, apple fritters, apple pie, apple cobbler, freeze-dried bits, caramel bites, or anything else that I wanted to do with those apples, they basically decide that they can take them back at any point, with or without your consent. If I bought a product, I should be able to access it, regardless of what the company now dreams up. If you sell a product, you no longer get to complain what happens with said product. Simple. But not to Ubisoft. And according to Ubisoft, they are not inclined to give out refunds, such as in the case of The Crew, or X-Defiant. And X-Defiant being the soulless, baseless cash grab that it was. Now, the Ubisoft CEO says that nothing lives forever. But alas, I disagree. Insert Doom. The time, December 10th, 1993. Hold on. Wait a minute. Carry the 2, add the sand, and divide by 3. Ah, yes. 31 years, 7 months, and 23 days. It still lives. It still breathes in technology. And it is a benchmark for if it'll run something. Now, why do I bring up Doom? It's easy. It's easily one of the most affluential and dominating parts of video games since its inception. Every person that worked on Doom has been influential in the video game world, and even Gabe Newell, being the mega genius that he is, will agree that if there is a will, there is a way to make it stay. And I want to make it known, be responsible for your actions and the wild amount of flagrant disrespect and disregard for your customers. The more that you take, the less that you will get in return. And examples of this are de novo, small DLCs, content not being released, subscriptions for less and less, slanderous lawyers and greaseball corporate go-betweens, butchering games links for cash, and hiding weapons and skins behind pre-orders. It's almost like these companies, Ubisoft, Blizzard, Activision, and all the others, want to fail. And I, for one, I say let them. Let's say, for example, I had a game that was my sole intellectual property. I would sell it. I would make sure that I retained the rights to everything, but I would make it available. It would be no de novo, no cut content, no paywalls, no hiding content, and expansions are a thing, and definitely encouraged. So now let's bring the skeletons of society to full forbearance. I have a few final thoughts. All companies should make games playable from start to finish in single player. That is the way that it always should have been, and anything less is a baseless cash grab and dishonest in business practice alone. All companies should be, regardless of region, given certain rights to individuals who purchase their products. Anything less than that is theft of monies, due to international definition, and therefore piracy isn't theft. While season passes, DLCs, and extra content is nice, it should be not a defining factor in play, and as such, adjustments should be made. All companies should deeply evaluate ethics and morals. And yes, I'm looking at you, Randy. they should ask themselves the following: do I feel great about this? Is this sustainable? Do I think that my customers would like this? If the answer was no to any of that, then don't put it in the open market. I'll explain. As of September 2024, indie development took 58% of all sales on Steam. Consistent data analysis shows that there's a gap growing between the AAA industry and the indie industry. One is thriving and growing, and the other one is dying to greed and corruption from the outside and from the inside. And if nobody believes me on this, if nobody takes anything that I say seriously inside of this video, I want you to remember this one last example. Monolith. Monolith was a great company, and they had unprecedented potential, but they were killed on the inside by Warner Brothers, the company that took them over. You know, Warner Brothers was not the only company that killed companies from the inside. All you have to do is look at Bethesda and see what they did to Human Head Studios.